logic to Dota mechanics. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, it's like, isn't there a bunch of things that have, for example, like Ursa's Fury Swipes? Like the variables register spell amp, but I don't think it actually applies. It's really weird.
It's one of those where it's like, is that a bug? Is that a bug? I don't know if it's a bug.
You know, we don't need to call things out. I'm just glad after like 4 months of Fury Swipes having 2 different durations in the tooltip, they fixed that.
Yes.
All right. That made me a happy chap.
All right. Let's pay attention to the blocks here in mid. Almost identical. Very, very small edge to mage with the range creep on the high ground.
Yeah, but Ace, of course, should be able to CS relatively easily and harass PA at the same time.
Ace absolutely fine. Courier coming out early as the standard. Nobody in the position to snipe. So early edge to the rating here.
Meanwhile, top NIP have committed 3 heroes here to begin with. It's going to be tough to find a kill, especially seeing Pexu did level in the Shadow Wave at level 1.
Yeah. That's definitely not something that we've been seeing from these Rubiks.
Oh no, definitely not. The Dazzles tend to go for poison touch, they aggress. The Rubik has gone for standard Fate Bolt. They are tri-laning, so he just wants to sustain and keep his team alive. I mean, it kind of makes sense to an extent, I guess, but I'm not Timber Sand King. But yeah, the Sand King, he can hide to like a decent amount, but if he gets jumped on, the Shadow Wave could be the difference.
I mean, one thing I think you can already point to is that 33 is not suffering like you would expect down here on his Beastmaster against this dual lane.
Well, it's definitely not. He's just... I think it's to do with the boar. The boar, like the change to the damage type really has enabled you to harass out these low armor supports like Phoenix.
That's a really good point, and it's something that people aren't talking about. I mean, look at this damage that MNT is taking from 33, by the way. I mean, he wanted to mess around with this camp, and 33 is like, oh, okay, fine. You know, with the board damages you were talking about, just the fact that Beastmaster is very underrated as a right clicker. He just stood there.
MNT's like, I don't care. I got the ball. I got my money. That's all that matters on the world. And he's got a salve. He's got plenty of tangos. Just getting rid of the boars in these early levels does do a lot to enable him to exist in the lane.
Oh, Monarch, don't miss that range creep. All right, he's got a soul ring. He's going to do great.
Yeah, he's already off to a great start. 14-6 and 5-0, 33. While he might not be pressured, this Beastmaster is definitely not getting his last hits.
I'm telling you, though, these lanes are... These lanes are a little bit weird. Like, NIP is really happy with how they're going, and Vega doesn't seem to be making the adjustment.
No, instead, they're almost getting the crap kicked out of them. In the mid lane, Mage almost died to Meepo here. Yeah. I'd say solo, but he's not truly solo.
Yeah, isn't Meepo ever.
Depends how bad your micro is, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, at my 4K level, yeah, the answer is probably yes. Okay.
You know what? Don't worry. You're past the hurdle of having invokers that don't know how to invoke, so they just build right-click invoker.
Okay, yeah, that makes me want to uninstall. Even
Mage, this aggression will be punished.
There you go.
I mean, he'll take a decent amount of damage, and this is the difference with that point and ransack. You just get value. I just feel like watching this mid lane because last game you looked away and Mage
and it's done.
Yeah, he was crumbling. It was against Fodder in that game, but this time around it's just hard to see how the PA can really contest this. Even when you get level 6, the crit is big, but it's not really I'm gonna instantly win the lane big.
Yeah, and that it was important right there that it was MNT that won the Haste lottery, because I think if Peter had won that Mage could have been in some trouble. But we're going to get some action top anyway, and Petri might be in a little bit of trouble here. Rotation in from MNT coming into contest.
Oh, you say a little bit of trouble, Alan. That looks like a lot of trouble.
Fair enough.
And they did actually force the rotation from MNT, and he achieved nothing with it either.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I'm looking at Sparta. So far, he's actually gone for double point Ray 5 Blast, which is pretty standard. He's got 2 summons with the Mortal Strike already, and this is the kind of lane the Phoenix never want to come to. It's bad enough for the Beastmaster and the Boar, but those little Skelly Bros, the damage adds up quickly when you have 0 armor.
And And you see the plan coming to fruition here for Vega. I think MNT. I thought MNT was going to rotate into this top lane actually a little bit earlier, because Timber 1v1. Once you get Timber to level 3, Timber 1v1 versus Beastmaster is just fine. Oh, Mage getting a little messed with a little bit here.
Yeah, he's getting down on the spot. They've got the follow-up route, and he's gone.
And Dazzle did not have a skill point engraved there. Was in range.
Yeah,
and he might be giving up his own life as a result.
They're going to chase through. The Fire Spirits come out. They need to farm tap. They can't find the Ray Fire Blast. Actually goes out to MOT. He has got the dive to escape, though. And one of these little Skelly Bros is in the wrong place.
Soxa was in range for another right click there and just turned around.
He had the Fire Spirits on him. He couldn't attack.
That's true. That's true.
I think he just didn't. He weighed up. Like, he knew he was never going to be in range long enough. So basically, all you're doing is standing there and potentially taking damage.
Okay, and that is all right, and that is a level 2 Fire Spirits. That's I mean, the attack speed soul is pretty good at level 1 anyway.
That is true, and then on top of that, it's nighttime, so it's like the chances are even less because then you lose vision, not just having them out of range. Oh my god, look at 33 right now. He's actually full 2 levels behind Madara.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's going to happen in this matchup when the Timber is given help for that long. I mean, if Timber at least has to play against Beastmaster at level 1 and 2, this lane.
I got 6. 23. He's gone. He casually walks under the tower as he gets level 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't ready for that, and I don't think 33 was ready for that either.
By the time he realized it was happening, it was too damn late. The creep wave, it was perfectly timed by Madara because the creep wave was just about to get under the tower.
Right.
The radiant one. So he was just going to stack up reactive armors at that stage. And actually, oh wow, 33 is going top. He said, I can't deal with this. We need a solution. Although, you know, Beastmaster, he can somewhat gank with the boars now, but this isn't exactly a high impact gank.
And this is a really neat concept. I was worried about these lanes for Vega, but I mean, I guess their concept was, we're going to help this Timber. We're going to stay a level longer than we ordinarily would. We're going to get him to level 4 instead of 3, and from that point, he just, I mean, 33 can't lane anymore. That's really clever.
Now you've got a scenario where Timbersaw can just go wherever and deal with whichever threat is the biggest. At the moment, he chose to go mid. And it's this type of hero that kind of has to be ahead. Timbersaw doesn't really... Like, if he's behind, he doesn't really recover. He's not a hero renowned for being able to get back in the game.
Oh, okay. All right. I gotta give him credit.
They found him. Dust is there. Burrow Strike turns around. Damage on the 33 with the Sandstorm as well. He needs to get out of it. Kezu, though, he's going to fall. Maybe next time we'll dive away to safety before he gets stunned in the face.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to chalk this up to me just having woken up. Oh boy, Madara in a little bit of trouble with me dealing a ton of damage there with 4 levels in that ransack. You know,
sustained.
As we talked about, that this is the point of the game when it is most significant. All of a sudden, Monitor is sitting there with multiple whirling deaths and his ult active, and Ace just doesn't care. Ace has 2 clones hitting him with ransack, and he almost died.
And that's the other thing. That's part of your damage you can't have taken away from you, right? You can get rid of some of his Agi, but you're doing magic damage. If you're against a strength hero, you'd be very happy. But against an Agi hero, just look at the effect. Timbersaw taking way too much damage. We'll be able to chain away, but he is done intimidating this Meepo. More on the bot. They're going to go here. They jumped around to Fada. Poison touch is on him. He doesn't have 6. He actually needs to hit this creep. Can he get it in time? No. They glyph. They know about it. They knew exactly what he wanted to do. Fada, he's going to go down here.
That's clever. You gotta give credit, Vega a ton of credit for being aware of exactly what was going on there.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh.
Especially with the rotation coming in from Saxa, because that would have turned around the fight. Oh, beautifully done. And Last Wraith King does not have 6 yet. At least he'll get to save it for maybe a better opportunity when he eventually gets it.
I gotta say, like, if these teams are not pulled with the minor, I'm actually gonna be very sad. Like, it's a very clever early game. There's a ton of little things, you know, from PPD down.
10 HP, almost got away.
No, he's not. Madara's not gonna miss that chain.
And in fairness, Nahaz, you're talking about these 2 teams making it to the minor. There's still other big teams. You know, got like OG, for example.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition. Oh, PPD. Looking at my eyes, says the mage, but nope. Pexu's nearby. And Sax is a little bit too late to get a lift opportunity. I think they might, but Mage blurs up. They decide against it, and they realize they've just been bamboozled as the runes get picked up. And Meepo, he actually snuck in though. He'll get one of them, get a kill on the Pexi.
Yeah, nice timing there. Absolutely no chance. Did he have a level engraved? No, he still doesn't have it. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's just like this type of hero. Like you have to wait until 5. I think is usually the point at which you can justify a point engraved. If you have to do it earlier, you kind of lost on the skill build.
Now 202 is absolutely the standard, and it should be. If you look at these skills for Dazzle right now.
Madara, this is interesting. There's no trees to your side of the map. He's Helen plays the Fateball. The follow-up net. They're gonna get it. We're gonna be close. He can't get away.
Oh god, the third clone with 4 points in Ransack. Man, that's only 2 points in Poop. That is not what is doing the damage there.
Absolutely. It's just this early game pressure, and it's so effective because remember, Ransack is pure damage. There's nothing Timbersaw can build to deal with that.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think I think you hit the nail on the head, and that's why this Timbersaw is all of a sudden feeling very squishy. I mean, he had a lot of stacks. He had a lot of stacks with 4 points in reactive armor right there, and it just didn't matter. This Meepo absolutely shoot through him.
And this is the thing, it's Meepo's game, building a big lead already, but this is what the hero does. But so far, Ace's movements around the map have netted a decent amount of kills. What he needs now is for his team to start transitioning to tower pushes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the scary thing. And I think that the other thing is that as good as your individual heroes have been looking in the last few minutes of the game, you still haven't fully closed the gap with the early economy advantage that Nip had from their lanes.
Oh, they're trying desperately. Like, good news for the side of Vega is that 33, he's still in recovery mode. He does have 6 now, so you're looking to see him smoke up and make a primal role play very soon.
Well, but I don't even think he needs to. Okay, so that is going to be the mentality for most Beastmaster players. In this patch, I'm not sure that's the right mentality. I think your mentality ought to be, let's push a tower.
So what's the Sand King mentality then? Because he's smoked up.
You got 2 points in the order, man.
He do indeed. He's going to push in with a double ball, but look at this. The smoke, they try and move in. The Ace is not a target you want, though. And, well, the smoke is wasted. That's a lot of time Sand King has committed to doing nothing.
This is good boy Netta, man. This guy is he is such a smart player. I don't think people appreciate it. You know, he's not trying to smoke up and make the desperation play to get back in the game. He's got the Vlads, which I absolutely loves the first time in one piece path. He's doing what he should with it, pushing towers. And if he can get out of this,
they force the Madara rotation. He will lose his poor little ball. Actually, they want to turn around on Madara. They're going to lift him back in the Storm Sandstorm. They steal the Willing Death as well, but the egg gets dropped pretty early, actually. They're going to chase through 33. He's got the primal roar, but he didn't want to commit it. He will go down.
I don't know why you're trying to go on a level 10 Timbersaw right there. You're a level 6 Beastmaster, man. Even with 3 heroes against 2, right? And that's not going to happen for you. I mean, Dazzle comes in, he just got his level 6 off that. He didn't need to do it.
Problems arise when you try and make these moves. You need to realize that it's when you get a bad start like this and you don't really kind of clock on to just how little you do.
And 33 is one of those players that doesn't usually fall victim to that mentality, but you do feel strong with those 2 supports there.
Definitely do. And actually, look at this right now. Madara is looking interestingly strong. We're seeing a Solar Crest build on a Timbersaw.
This could be a nice smoke play for NIP, though. If they take the right angle, but the smoke gets revealed by the Phoenix. Just a little bit of a fortuitous movement right there. They are going to try for the Roshan here. This is going to go down very, very quickly. And this is something that is going to get your Beastmaster right back into the game.
That fully is. And as that is, the Ransack pure damage is just making this so damn quick. It's going to be slows coming out from the Phoenix, but no egg means they're not friend. That was the biggest thing about that drop on 33 in the top lane, is because the egg got committed. It meant that Vega lost half of the roast defense.
I really like these teams. Those are very heady plays that we're seeing coming out from both sides right now. Little lift on the MT in the jungle. Soxon needs to get out of here.
Oh, he's not getting out. He's not getting out at all. He's going to go down. The boars are arriving, but Beastmaster won't be able to get there in time. That mage will just farm him up.
And a nice little timing here with the blink coming out from everything. No, what?
Meepo just melts through him. Now the E-Blade slow on a Pexi moving forward here. He throws out the poison touch, but I'm afraid you're going home in a body bag. He'll use the Shallow Grave to buy a little bit of time, but he's ruined on the spot courtesy of the Earthbinds. Meepo gaming, folks. That is now a 4K lead over the closest competitor on the side of Vega.
Okay, Caster Curse? I mean, you need to understand that they are very strong right now. When you get that Rubik kill, you get the hell out of there.
But they're feeling a little bit greedy, and Timothy, he learned that the hard way. Go up for punishment right now, and as a result, well, look at this. NIP can push in because they have got the Beastmaster here alongside the Meepo. That's an easy tower for them.
That just tells me that Vega may be underestimating just how strong this Meepo is, right? Level 15, man.
He's definitely stacking up levels quick, and this is especially after Timothy. You saw how quickly he dies. This is a hero that we said it needs to snowball. It's not just the gold factor, it's the level factor as well.
That's absolutely right. I mean, I thought he was going to be fine against the Meepo when he got that level, when he got level 11 off that exchange in the top lane.
He seemed reluctant to take the XP talent or the spell amp. Like, he didn't even level a talent at 10, which I'm kind of okay with, because if you took the XP, you can see the justification, but when you see how quickly you die with this Meepo,
100%. Ace is sitting at 16. You just you can't make mistakes at 15 minutes against a Meepo when he's doing well in a game like this.
Speaking of Meepo, he's making more mistakes. The Dara has been found. The Aegis drop these M's in the bar straight through. They'll pop the Aegis, but that's still they're going to get farther. They're going to move away. Does level through the reincarnate. The Prime Roar has been used on the Kessu, so he can't follow on. 33 get low. They'll turn around. They'll get rid of the Sand King. Buybacks there, but Dazzle left alone. There won't be any assistance time. Rayfire Blast as they jump in. Phoenix needs to back off here. And they are on high ground. Oh, they're going more. Meepo, he finds the beat. The Fire Strike connects. Now, the return Fire Strike, the stolen one. Under the PA needs to go down the Rampage phase. Making a double at this rate. Shallow Grave comes out. The buyback by Maze. They're going to move back to low HP. Meepo, the rest are going to pursue. Kezu will get a Fire Strike away in time. And Ace will retreat to his backup Meepo as they get out of the base with a Kiss Farewell and a Rampage to, well, tide them over until they come back for the rest of your base.
It just feels like Vega... It felt like they understood how this game was going, but it feels like once they saw the Meepo get Aegis, they just kind of, I don't know, they've just been playing loose. They're just not, they either didn't fully internalize just how strong NIP was, and they've had several demonstrations of that. By the way, this is a killer pickup from Fata. You see the pipe on the Wraith King?
Yes, he's got it coming out now. He knows he's just about sustaining.
It's such a good read for how this game is going right now.
Especially when you think about everything here, because like you look at the Meepo, and we were talking about how Ransack starts to just tick off and it's not that great as the game goes on, but you've got Vlad's, you've also got the vampiric aura from the Wraith King. This is insane amounts of sustain for right guys.
Yeah, it really is, and it's the funny thing is, like, the item, if Vegas somehow manages to prolong this game to like 30 or 40 minutes, this item purchase is going to look like total crap. But it is absolutely, I will stand behind it as absolutely the best win in the game right now item.
Oh, I agree.
I think the next two fights, Vega is just going to need to outplay so hard just to survive. Like a 3-for-2 trade by Vega right now, I think would be a really good play from them.
I think for Vega, the scenario, like you said, they kind of like start playing loose. I think what it really came down to is when Madara kept dying to Meepo. And it's like, I'm not looking, don't get it wrong, folks. We're not looking to flame Madara or anything. It's more this new Meepo, the new way that he interacts against a hero like Timbersaw. You used to be fine against that.
But this what you're seeing, guys, is learning, okay? This is, pro players have to learn the new patch too, and you can't necessarily learn the patch by looking at the notes and theory crafting. I mean, all of a sudden you get into a game like this, you're Timber, you're like, I'm having a good game. They secured my lane bottom. I rotated mid. That was what I wanted to do. But all of a sudden my hero is weaker than it should be. Oh yeah, it's this pure damage, fixed scaling ransack thing. Okay.
And problems are arising actually because you can see NIP, they've let up a little bit. They're kind of waiting for the next Roche or the side of Vega to force a fight. And all the while this is happening, that's a completed Skadi on the Meepo.
Yeah, this Meepo, E-Blade, Blink, Skadi at before the 20-minute mark. This is as farmed as I've seen a Meepo in a game at this level.
Look at the net worth comparison. His opponents don't even have half his net worth.
This is like Abed Meepo in like random SEA game.
Well, let's see.
This is what you used to see from him.
Let's see the impact of this new item pickup, because they are ready to go with the Skadi now grab. There's the blink in. They go straight on the Dazzle, going to get him low. Force to be shot himself, but no. On the side, they find the Sang. The Primal Roar comes out. They turn around the PA as well. He's locked down. Gaze dragged in the E-Blade and it's shotgun him down. He doesn't even get to attack once. And they're in full retreat. There's a chase going. Sparta blinks forward. The stun comes out. Once again on Dazzle. This time we'll secure the kill. The Nets connection on Madara as well. Timbersaw has no escape from the Meepo. He will go down. And this is looking like it might be over.
Okay, just as like a point, look at where that Hawk is. Okay, you can't set up like that to defend in the trees against a Beastmaster without like a smoke or something.
Absolutely, they go straight away.
Exactly where they were, and the GG's call. This was, man, oh man, what? Okay.
That was quick. The first game was very tense, but this one was very one-sided.
Honestly, this is one of those where I have to go back and watch the replay a few times because I said at the beginning I didn't think this was a GG Meepo pick. But again, as we go on the game and we see the way